Since its beginnings, aviation has revolutionized globalization, connecting people, places, cultures, and most importantly, ideas. Yet the same sector is responsible for roughly 2 to 3% of global carbon dioxide emissions, a share that is expected to grow without decisive action. Aviation is not only central to the U.S. relationship with Europe, but also represents one of the most dynamic frontiers for decarbonization. Denmark, which generates nearly 50% of its electricity from wind power, has become a global leader in aligning economic growth with sustainability. Strengthening transatlantic ties between U.S. innovation, this is a country with the world's largest economy, and Denmark's green leadership creates a powerful synergy where sustainability drives economic growth. Danish carriers such as Scandinavian Airlines are pioneering sustainable aviation initiatives, and routes linking Copenhagen with U.S. cities symbolize more than travel. They are vital links in a shared effort to decarbonize aviation and reshape the global economy. My name is Quinn Matischek. I'm pursuing a master's in advanced energy systems at the Colorado School of Mines in Golden, Colorado, where I focus on advancing efficiency and sustainability, especially in the transportation and aviation sector. I've had the chance to work as a facilities and energy systems specialist for the Industrial Assessment Center at my school, and as a fuels analysis engineering consultant with Lifecycle Associates, where I've learned a lot about what it takes to run professional operations sustainably. I've been part of the sustainable aviation transition long enough that I recognize the obstacles that must be overcome for airlines and airports to adopt SAF, or sustainable aviation fuel, across the world. Evaluating life cycle emissions under policies like the Carbon Offsetting and Reduction Scheme for International Aviation has confirmed for me that the challenge of sustainable aviation is inherently international. No single country can achieve it alone. That's why I'm excited to explore the sustainable aviation economy with an international experience, to understand how Denmark, a country pioneering green hydrogen and e-fuels through projects like Ørsted's Power to X project, approaches aviation sustainability differently from the U.S. With the U.S. fluctuating in its investments in sustainable aviation fuel market scale-up, and Denmark building strong cultural and policy buy-in, there is so much to learn from the intersection of these two approaches. Copenhagen Airport is already recognized as one of the world's greenest hubs, with a goal of net zero emissions by 2030. That kind of leadership is what inspires me to learn from Danish culture, a community that integrates environmental sustainability into daily life. At the same time, I bring the perspective of U.S. fuel policy and hands-on energy systems experience. I hope to share how we model and implement aviation fuel pathways under programs like the Low Carbon Fuel Standard and Inflation Reduction Act, and to exchange ideas about how technical rigor and cultural values can combine to accelerate progress. In leadership roles such as Vice President of Women of Aeronautics and Astronautics, and Director of Communications for Women of Graduate School, I've learned that collaboration requires both clarity and empathy. A challenge I faced is balancing diverse expectations within a group while making sure all of the voices are heard. I learned that effective leadership is less about giving direction and more about creating space where people feel empowered to contribute. That lesson directly shapes how I collaborate across cultures and disciplines. Studying and living abroad has already been a large part of my story. I've spent a year in Australia managing reef conservation initiatives, worked in Bali on international school sustainability projects, and studied in China and Spain. Each time I had to adapt, appreciating new languages, navigating unfamiliar systems, and learning cultural norms. These experiences taught me resilience, that it's possible to feel uncomfortable, uncertain, and still thrive. Those experiences gave me confidence that I can adapt to life as a sustainability professional in Denmark, not just to learn from the experience, but to contribute to the journey. Ultimately, aviation is what ties us and all of our potential successes together. Just as flights connect Denmark and the United States, my goal is to connect technical rigor with cultural exchange and sustainability with aviation operations. By pursuing this international experience, I hope to bring back not only technical insights, but also a deeper understanding of how culture shapes solutions. I'm excited to learn from Denmark's leadership in green aviation and sustainability in general, and to share my own perspective rooted in U.S. energy systems and international experience. Together, we can strengthen the bridge across the Atlantic, one that is not just built on travel, but on brightening the human relationship with the environment and sharing in the celebration of our movements forward. Thank you.